Hi, this is Barb Getty, and I'm going to work the problem that's assigned for me today, which is problem 7-8A. And what we're going to do here is to prepare a cash budget. And it says in the book that we read this week that having a cash budget is vital to a company because it enables the company to plan ahead and to cover possible cash shortage and to make investments of idle funds. So we have in front of us Sheffield Corporation, and they ask us to do, it says down here, to prepare a cash budget for January, February. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a cash budget for January and February. It tells us that right here, our company cash balance as of January 1 is expected, I have a typo there, oops, is expected to be $47,000. So when we look at up here, I put on here 2 months ending February 28, 2017. So our beginning cash balance is $47,000. And our next thing is, and I added these in because I wanted to make it easier for me to demonstrate because of the different things that we have to add into here. But we're just going to go down the line on our cash budget and start adding things in. It says Sheffield Corp prepares monthly cash balance budgets. Here are the relevant data for operating the budgets, and it gives us the operating expenses, for January and February. It tells us that all sales and purchase accounts and purchases are on account, and that the budget collection and disbursement data are given. We'll get to this one as we go down the line because it tells us that all expenses are paid in the month incurred except for the administrative expense. So when we get to the administrative expense, we'll work on this one. So we're going to go to the first one, and it says collection from customers. January, $331,700, and February, $378,200. So we start here and we do our beginning cash balance, and we add our cash receipts. The first one of adding cash receipts will be collection from customers. And we go over here and we put in the $331,700 for January, and it also tells us $378,200 for February. Okay, number 2, it says payment for purchases. January, $105,400, and February, $143,600. Now up here it tells us our purchases up here, but for our cash budget, we're going to use the payment for purchases. When you go into, and that would be under cash disbursements. Our payment for purchases will be under cash disbursements. Now, if you are doing the assignment, they'll have drop downs. And normally we would put payments for purchases, but in the drop down, the only option it gives you is purchases. So I'm just going to put purchases in here, but that's what this one is entailed. And it tells us the purchases for January or $105,400, and February is $143,600. The next one, it says other receipts. Oops. Other receipts. January collection on December 31st is notes receivable for $19,000. So we'll go up here and put notes receivable. Come over to January because it told us their collection was 19,000. Now it tells us down further if we have no other note receivable, because it doesn't tell us one for February, but it gives us something else for February. And it tells us down here when we prepare a cash budget, it says do not leave any answers filled blank. Enter 0 amounts. So that's what I'm going to do up here. Under notes receivable, I'm going to put a 0 in there. So going back to number 3, it tells us also February proceeds for sales and securities is $6,200. So we're going to come up here and put sales of securities. We're going to tab over and we're going to put 0 in January because there's nothing in January. And we are going to put 6,200 in February. So this, okay, and we're going to finish off. We're going to keep going down, and it says on number 4, other disbursements. It says February, $12,400 for cash dividends. Now in here, we're going to add our, that would go under disbursements. We're going to add our disbursements, and we are going to put down at the bottom here, because it's one of our last ones, dividends. And I know it says cash dividends, but when you're in the assignment, when you do the drop down, it only gives you the option for dividends. Dividends are done under cash disbursements, and we have nothing for January, but for February we have $12,400. Okay, so then we're going to go up here to our information that they gave us. We aren't going to include sales or purchases because we did our purchase payments down here. Because these two we will not be including in the budget. But we will start with our salaries that goes after our purchases. So it says our salaries here are $83,200 and $81,800 for February. So under purchases, I'm going to put salaries. Now, we would normally put salaries expenses, but in the drop down, it doesn't give you that option. So we'll put 83,200 and 81,800. Okay, our next one is administration expense. And this is the one that I told you we would need to come back to. Up here in the beginning, it tells us our administration expense, which includes $1,500 of depreciation per month. Now, depreciation is not a cash expense. So if it's telling us that it is, up here it tells us it's incurred in the month. So we know that it's included in this 70,000. We have to subtract it from it. So if we take the 70,900 and subtract the administration, the 1,500, we get, oh, I have to put administration in here. Administration expenses. We're doing it less the 1,500. So the 70,900 less 1,500 is 69,400. And then up here, the 74,300 less the 1,500 gives us 72,800. So as I said, up here it tells us administration expense includes the 15,000 of depreciation. Because depreciation is a non-cash expense, we have to subtract it from these amounts up here. So that's what we did here. Our last one here is selling expense. And so we're going to add that down here. Selling expenses. And the first one is 78,200, and the second one is 87,600. So we're going to go back up here. We're working with January, and we're going to see our January beginning balance, and we have two cash receipts, and the two cash receipts, well, three cash receipts, I should say. We don't have anything under security. So right here, we're going to give the total of the 31,000 and then 719,000, and that comes out to total receipts of 350,700. I'm going to put a line up here to make it a thick border line so you can see that these are going to be bordered. Okay, then under cash, total cash receipts, we have total cash available. And over here, we take the beginning balance of 47,000 and add it to the total receipts cash. And I'm going to put a line under here so you know that this is another adding. And we add the 47,000 and the 3,550, and we come up to 397,700. Okay, so that's our total cash available. Now we go down to our cash disbursements. Cash disbursements consist of all of these: the purchases, the salaries, the administration expense, the selling expense, and the dividends. So under here, we're going to add the total disbursements. I'm going to put one of these lines, and when this totals up, we total up to $336,200. After the total disbursements, we are going to subtract the total cash available, the $397,700, from the total disbursements of $336,000, and that will give us the excess efficiency of available cash over disbursements. That comes to, when we subtract the $397.97 of our total available cash from our total disbursements, it comes to $61,500. I'm going to put another little line here. So after our excess deficiencies, we come into our finance area, because the three areas of the cash budget is our cash receipts, our cash disbursements, and our finance. Oops, how did I get that in there? I'm going to take that out. I don't know what I did. I think because I was starting finance, it just did that. So F, financing, like L, will go in here, and our under financing, which I should put colon so you know that that's a category. We do borrowings or we do repayments. And then we will come with our ending cash balance. Now, it says over here, let me figure out where I found it. It says our ending cash, oh, here it is. Under here it says the company wants to maintain a minimum cash balance of $58,400. So we know down here or down here, they want a balance of a minimum of $58,400. So when we took the, when we found our excess balance, we see that it's $61,500, which is more than what our minimum is of $58,400. So under finance, we don't have to borrow anything because we have the amount of money needed. We don't have any repayments, so we'll put 0 in there. And so our ending cash balance, I'm going to put a line there. Our ending cash balance will be is $61,500. Okay, so this is our ending cash balance for January. So we always bring the balance forward from the month before up to our next month, which would be February. So we'll bring up 61,500 here, and we'll start going down. We already added our information here with our collection, customers, and sales of security. So the next thing we have to do is just to total up our cash receipts, because these are all of our cash receipts, the $378,200 and the $6,200, which comes to $3,884 and wait, $384,400. So then we add the beginning cash balance of $61,500 and our total receipts of $384,400 and get our total available cash of $445,900. Now let's go down into our cash disbursement. We have all of the totals here for our purchases, salaries, administration, selling, and dividends. So we just have to total this up, and the total comes to $398,200. So we'll take the the available cash of $445 and subtract it from the total disbursements of $398,200 and get an excess of $47,700. So we see that the minimum balance over here is supposed to be $58,400, and we only have the $47,700, so we will need to borrow for February. So we take the $58,400 minus the $47,700, and we get $10,700 of borrowings. Repayments, they show us that we have nothing for the month. So our finance ending cash balance will be $10,700. So this shows us for the months of January and February, our cash budget, our ending cash balances are right here. I hope that this has been helpful for you, and if you have any questions, please post them and I'll be glad to respond. And if you have anything to add that I may have missed, please feel free to post that, and I would be grateful of that because it will help me to understand anything else that I have missed. But I enjoy doing this, and I hope that you enjoy doing yours. Thank you.